Hello, YouTube modeling community. This is Rusty Rotor. This is a mental/mail call Monday, but it's Tuesday, guys. I know the stuff didn't come in until late last night, so I didn't have time to make the video like I thought I would, and only half of it came. The other half is a day or two away, so we're just going to discuss it and talk about it. Trying to keep this video as short as possible, so please watch it from the beginning to the end. Even if you got to do it in segments, that's fine. And as always, thank you guys to all my past, present, and future subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It's free. Get that bell notification. You'll know when these videos come out. You ask anybody, I'm all over the place. I like to talk because I have nobody to talk to about this stuff. This is my what do you call it? My platform. This is where I get to talk nothing but model, talk shop type to speak, so to speak. Today's topic, and we've discussed this before, and we've touched on it before, and everybody is aware of it. So it's nothing, no shocker, nothing new. Detail. Okay, guys, detail. Every modeler, no matter what you build, every modeler is at a different level. There's modelers that just build right out of the box. There's modelers that build right out of the box and play with what they built. There's modelers that will paint detail right out of the box. There's modelers that will add just key components. And examples are like a pre-wired distributor. Maybe actually run the heater hoses and the radiator hoses. But that's it. They don't carry that detail any further. Nothing wrong with any of that. And then you kind of graduate more. Then there's modelers that do like what I do, but really have crafted and perfected their technique and their determination to create something that was not existent is mind-boggling. And then there's levels above that. So you got to kind of think, if you're just new to this game, find somebody that's willing to help you. Somebody take you underneath their wing. And that's what we guys should be doing as what they call as content creators. We should be helping these people get through these platforms, these levels of skill, the best we know how and best we can. And helping is very rewarding, guys. Somebody may not have known how to do spark plug wires, and they've always wanted to do it, and they've tried it a few times, and basically they've wasted money, and they're ready to stop doing it because they just can't figure it out. Well, if you have the availability to sit down with them for a few minutes and show them a successful technique in doing it, and they pick it up, they can move on and still be enthralled and drawn into the hobby without being bashed. Well, what is that? Is that supposed to be a distributor? Oh my God, man, that's great. I take that off there. It's nasty. That's negativity. We don't want that. There's negatives that can be positives, and I guess to some people, some positives could be negatives. But I'm a 57-year-old semi-educated man. I'm well-rounded in street smarts, common sense. I've got more common sense than Carter has liver pills. I'm detail-oriented. What drove me to be that way? I've got an uncle. I've got a grandfather. I got a father that was detail-oriented. I've got it to the pact of OCD. That's me. And you'll see. Now you compare. I'm going to talk in second person here or third person. You take Rusty Rotor's work. Okay, that's just a nickname I got years ago, guys, and it kind of stuck, and it doesn't bother me. At first, it kind of did bother me. It's like, that's stupid. What you call me Rusty Rotor for? But at the time, I was the #1 brake guy. So I did was brakes. And cars would come in with rusted rotors on them, and I'd beat the crap out of them to get them off the car and, scream and cuss and throw them to the ground when I got them up. And somebody thought it was cute, called me Rusty Rotor. For I think like 2 weeks straight, I was dealing with nothing but rusted rotors on cars. It was aggravating. So that's where the nickname came from. So, yeah, you take Rusty Rotor, the style that he builds in, okay? It's kind of hard to see all that detail, guys, without lights hampering it or improving it. So you look down in there. You can see, I did an aftermarket carb. There's wiring, there's some plumbing, there's, neatness, tidiness. There's some options like a Mountain Dew bottle on the side and the overflow hose going into the bottle. There's a lot of little stuff that just make you sit there and stare at it for a few minutes and go, wow, look at all that detail. And it all looks really good. It's not sloppy or clean. I'm not a sloppy builder, but I build in that realm, if that makes any sense. I build like the average Joe would actually work on his own car or his own hot rod. And there's different levels to that. Guys that are so anal on their show cars that everything's perfectly flows in the right direction, is bent the right angle, and everything sits perfectly, and it looks like a museum piece. And then there's guys that's got show rods that they work on and they drive them, and they've had to make quick repairs and be in a hurry to get off the side of the road or highway or get home to their wife and their kids or whatever. So they make a quick repair. That's how I build. The detail is there. I plumb and wire everything, but I plumb and wire it according to, like, if I was in a hurry and I was really trying to do it, I want it to be safe. I want it to be efficient, but yet in a hurry. That's how I build. The guy I'm going to talk about, A4 Garage, here on YouTube. He's also on Instagram. Please go, if you don't already, let's put it that way. If you don't already, go follow him. Watch his videos. He is my number one inspirer when it comes to that detail and scratch building techniques. He doesn't verbally tell you how to do it, but if you watch a video, he shows you how he does it, and you can just get your stuff out and start practicing and trying on your own. Now, I know that another guy, I don't know if he got his inspiration from A4, but it's Styrene Engineer. He's on Instagram. He makes everything out of styrene in scale. He sells it in the raw form, so all you got to do is clean it up, paint it, detail paint it. There's no more detail needed. They're highly detailed, but it's all in little tiny styrene pieces. And he makes each component per order. So, like, if you wanted a lift, he's making all the little bolt heads. He's making all the lift arms, all the components he's making for you. They're not mass produced. He's making them. And when he has free time, he mass produces them, so he has them ready in case that's what you want. But he's detail oriented to make it look as real as possible, but he's only using styrene. Now, A4 is using all different components: wire, solder, brass, aluminum, different forms of sizes of wire, coated wires, whatever it may be, to add that realistic look to the vehicle. Because what you get in the kit is not highly detailed. Don't bash me yet. There is kits that are super highly detailed. More money. And at the end of the day, they're coming with the parts that you get a sprue of photo etch shit in there that you got to cut off and make and put in place. And I'm guaranteeing you probably that price that you pay for that kit, you could probably go buy the independent stuff and save a few dollars on everything and your overall cost. That's that balling on the budget mentality, But so once you figure all that out and you've got 10, 15 models, 20 models under your belt, and you're wanting to start competing, you think your stuff's good enough that you can compete, and you should, no matter what it looks like. Take it and show it. Other people don't build as good as you, and you may inspire that person by your build. Even if you didn't win nothing, you may have inspired somebody else to keep building or build what you just built. So it's a win-win, really, guys. Think about it. But if you ever come across somebody that's a new modeler and you see them on YouTube, they're just trying to get their feet wet, guys. They're putting themselves out there. It's like dating, You decide, okay, it's time for me to start dating. You put yourself out there. Who's going to accept me? I mean, look at me. I'm 57 years old. If I went out on the dating market right now, what the hell is available for me? There's not much. There is a small window in there, but then it depends on each individual what your niche is, what you're into, what you like, what you don't like. All that plays part. So take that person and put them underneath your wing. Criticize them or critique them, I should say. Don't criticize, critique, and show them a better way and an easier method to achieve what they're trying to achieve and keep failing at. That's our duty. He said duty. But that is our duty as a content creator, whatever you want to call us. As a hobbyist, especially experienced hobbyists like myself, I've been in it for 50 years. There's guys that's been in it longer than me, some less than me. Same way as there's modelers younger than me that's better than me. Modelers that's older than me that's better than me. There's no really one true fantastic top builder in the world. There's just not. Did that offend somebody? They think that they're the best? Get over it. You're not. Like I've said it before, everybody's stuff has a flaw in it somewhere. And I say that and I stand by that because even if it turns out perfection, there's a flaw you can't see, but there's a flaw nonetheless. To err is to be human. We will make mistakes. Some constantly, some periodically. Everything, there's so much madness and intertwinings of everything through everything we do in life, not just modeling, but everything. And some techniques and ways to think work for everything in life, even a hobby. So you got to decide as a modeler where you want to be, what you want to strive to be at, and then investigate and research and find out what's available to you in that realm. Aftermarket parts, maybe you can't make that yet. You've tried, but you're just not there yet, so you have to go to the aftermarket world. That's fine. That's how you learn. And you got to learn each product, how it works, how easy is it to clean up, how easy is it to install, how easy is it to anything. It's all part of it, guys. So like I said, choose where you want to be and then research and investigate what's available to you at those levels. Once you've got there, and maybe you're striving too hard, that doesn't mean nothing. Just reach out to somebody and ask them for help. Again, that's what we are here for. Whether it's through our videos or you're communicating with us back and forth, that's what we're here for. That's why we take the time to make these videos. And hopefully it will help somebody. It'll inspire somebody. And in return, you like what we do and, all the aspects of YouTube. So let's say you're at the level, you're using photo etch pretty regularly. You're comfortable with it. You know how to remove it from the sprue. You know how to clean up that little part. You know how to polish it if you want to. You know how to apply it. The best ways to do it, that trial and error. That's it, trial and error. You just got to try. You may screw up your whole build by putting one little tiny photo etch piece on there and it slide and smear glue all the way across your painted surface. That's trial and error, guys. Can you repair that little area? Most certainly. If you're smart about it, you can mend that little area and none be the wiser. Sometimes it destroyed the whole finish. You got to start all over. But at the end of the day, this is one dimension. Now I say that because it's one level. It's just whatever this thickness is, that's what it is. Okay, so it's not, it's a bolt head. It's not the thickness of a scale bolt head. Now, if you enlarge the picture and you blow it up and look down in there close, you can see it looks kind of thick. It's like, wow, that really looks like a bolt head. And it does. It's an optical illusion. It is. So, the company, Hobbyist Haven. They're on Instagram. I think they're on Facebook. I'm not for sure. They're not supporting this channel or sponsoring it. This is a product I saw, and a vendor at the last show down in Louisville was talking about them, and it was a military guy. So I was like, oh, I'll have to check it out. And then it dawned on me a few days later. I got home and looked and found it, and now I see it circulating around on Instagram quite a bit. It's just a company like MGSF, like Market Hobby Nut Models. They sell products. He has a different format that he works on for this kind of stuff. It's more, I guess, beneficial for him to design the part and then send it to China, and they mass produce it, package it, and ship it straight to you. Took a month to get these stuff, first and foremost. So be aware of that. Don't wait where you're 3/4 of the way in your build and you need these, and you got a time frame to get your build done because you're not going to get these in time. How do you avoid that? You buy in advance. Even if you're not using it for that build you're working on right now, but the next build, by the time these get there, you'll be done with your other build and be ready to start on it. That type of thing. Organize. That's the way my mind runs. So now you've heard, what drives me, what inspires me to do what I do and how I do it. And A4 is the person that does it. And there's two other gentlemen too. I can't remember their names, but they're on YouTube. They're both Asian. They don't speak a lot on their videos, but their work speaks loudly enough. The way they detail things. But A4 is my number one. Styrene Engineer is a way for me to learn how to scratch build things and things I would have to normally buy, but I can make myself now for a lot cheaper. So, balling on the budget. So there's my number one and number two guy, so you guys know. And I have a lot of friends. Styrene Therapy, Larry is his name. He builds very similar to me. A lot of scratch building, using a lot of wires and everything detailed and the way it should look. But in a rougher form, like aged, weathered look, his builds blow me away. He inspires me every time he does something. And the realistic touch he puts on it floors me. So he is on Instagram. I don't think he's on anything else. So go to his page. If you're on Instagram, Styrene Therapy. The gentleman's name is Larry. Look at all of his work. Now, he's not a fast builder, but my God, the detail he puts into a build. He always brags on my stuff. I mean, I brag on his because I think it's equal. It's not, his isn't really any better. It's different, but in the same way, it's the same. And he inspires me as much as I inspire him. So you really got to find your points of inspiration if you're not familiar with it already. So now you've decided what level you're going to build at. You've decided how I'm going to build, what I'm going to build, what's available to me in that level, what is not available, and that's where it comes into you're either going to have to 3D print it, cast resin it, or scratch build it. So now you got to pick up your game. All those individual things take practice and trial and error to achieve somewhat perfection. But there's companies available to take that burden off. Now, I waited a month to get these, and they were $20. I bought two, so I spent $40. It was $53, I think, $54 and change with shipping. Something. I think it was like $12 for shipping. So $12, $24, like $52, almost $53. That's what I paid, and I waited a month to get them. So now I know. I'm clear. I understand. But really, his hobby store is for more detail-oriented, like on Gundam, military, diorama. That's the stuff. So you got to kind of look in there because some of that stuff will work in our realm of working on a car or truck. And these do. These are rivets. You see, I can't get it to focus to show you each individual thing, but these are three-dimensional. And that's what they look like. Actually look like. When you cut them off the little sprue, that's what you're getting. And there's 5 sizes here. And on the website, it has the actual scale for each size. So go to the website, take a screenshot of it, and you'll know for reference what 0.6 millimeter is in scale. I thought that would be on the here too, but it's not. Let me double check real quick. I don't want to speak and say it is. It's not. No, it's not. It's just the millimeters. And they're labeled. I don't know if you can see them or not. Yep, they're 07, 08, 06, or 06, 07, 08, 09, and 1 millimeter. Now, I think there is another set that's even bigger. I'm not positive on it, but I know there's a set B, which is the opposite of these. So a hex bolt would have it's a through bolt. There's a nut and a washer, and the bolt sticking through on the other end. That's the detail on part B. So definitely get you a set at part A and part B. After looking at them, touching them, they came undamaged. Nothing's real weak, just falling off. And you just got to be precision when you cut them off. I paint them all at one time. If you want a bolt a different color after the fact, you can always go back and just touch up the bolt head at a later time. But prep them all to be chrome, a true steel bolt look. So if you're adding the shock detail or your leaf spring detail, your shackle detail, those all these little bolts and everything, nuts, are perfect for that. And it becomes three-dimensional versus a flat little piece of photo etch on there to simulate the detail. You're actually putting that detail in there that sometimes comes on a model, sometimes doesn't. So sometimes you may not need these. But if you got the money, honey, I got the time. That fits. If you got the money, you got the time, he's got the product for you. Definitely go check him out. Hobbyist Haven. They're floating around all over Instagram. I think they have a page on Instagram, and the website, and the direct link. Or you go to just hobbyisthaven.com. And know when you get these kind of things, they come directly from China. Other things, I think, come straight from his website. So it's a different thing. He is in the United States. It's just these come from China because they can be mass produced and he can keep up with demand. He can't keep up with demand on his own, so he has to outsource that to keep up with the demand. But it's a great product. And I'm looking forward to using these because this is the kind of stuff I salivate over and get all excited about, that I can add actual detail to something that didn't have it. I mean, I'll show you. Here is point and case. Every one of is that photo? No, those are painted. Okay, every one of those little bolts on that hog head, I can shave those off. They're okay, and they will work if you just want to use that. But you can shave all those off and then add the actual bolt head in there, and it looks even better. So, what's the level you want to go to? Same way through here. This would be the through head bolt. Well, you just shave that off a little bit, put that hex head here. On the back side, you'd have the nut washer and the other part of the bolt there. So you have the actual detail there. It looks like a real little nut and bolt and washer. Your shackles, there's a plate, which is this, and nothing's on it, so you can just add the detail there, 4 bolts. And all you'd be using is the nut and washer end and the little piece of bolt sticking through it for this, because the U-bolt detail is there. It's the straps around the differential. So, this is a level of, you got to think before you just jump in it and do it. Can I achieve that? Is that something I could do? Take a scrap part and practice. Just use a couple little pieces. You want to use up all your inventory and you can't reuse it. Shave that off. Put that nut head on there and then come back here and put the nut and the washer and the rest of the bolt detail there and see how that looks to you. It's going to change your opinion on detail, because even here on the side bracket, there's bolts. I can add all that three-dimensional detail that is sort of there, but not there. There's some glue there. I got to clean that up and everything. And I got to clean up this drive shaft. It's a little sloppy. I got in a rush. But this hog head, I may come through here and touch up this paint and shave these off and put these heads on there. And we'll come back and look at that and add the detail to the shackles, and we'll add the detail to the brackets and everything else. And we'll kind of see how that looks as a trial run. Because there's three bolts on each thing, or each bracket, and there's a bolt in the leaf spring, and the same way on this side there's 4, 2 at top, 2 over here, and 1 through. So, and then the hog head, there's upper bolts around this by the yoke, and then by the actual base of it. So there's room to add that detail. And that's what it's all about. So what level are you going to build at? How does your mind work? You're comfortable with just box stock? Kudos to you. I'll help you in any way I can. I'm not going to condemn you for the style that you build in or what you want to build in. I got a Rush Limbaugh eyebrow going there. It's detail, guys. It's all about detail. That's always a mental process. It applies to no matter what you do, even in life. It's how you wax your car, how you vacuum and detail the interior. DC, there's the word detail. It's where there's companies called professional detailing. They are professionals at what they do, and they're meticulous. So you just got to decide, pick it, and work with it. Go through it, struggles, the high points, the low points, and you'll succeed. Eventually, you'll succeed. Some may do it right out of the gate. Some may take longer. That's the whole great thing about this hobby, and that's why we all exist, and that's to help. Other updates. The Corvette is on permanent hold for right now. Temporary permanent hold. It's made me mad toward the point I'm not touching it for a while because in fear of messing something up and I don't have replacement parts. I'm still waiting on parts, unfortunately, so it will not be coming to Acme with me. My 32, the appreciation build for Tom, Rambler 69, and update on the Alla Impala, viewer's choice. It's not working the way I want it to work. Therefore, it's making me mad. I'm aggravated now because now I have to strip the body again. Somehow I pick up a ton of junk in the paint. I didn't see it when I wet sanded it because I sanded down what I saw and prepped the body for clear coat. But to get rid of it, I actually went and burned through all the way to the primer. So I don't have enough paint on the body. I didn't have enough clear on the body. So now we're going to dip it. We're going to strip it down, sand it all down again, reprime it, repaint it, re-clear coat it to where it's at my standards. Some people would have just left it alone, go with it. It's a mistake made. Let's move on. No, I can't because I only have one of them. It's important to me because it's what you guys chose for me to build that time. So it has some great importance to it. So we're going to put it up for a while. We're going to bring Wife's Choice down because Wife's Choice is about 80% done, 85% done. We're going to get it done. If we can get it done in time, we'll take it to Acme with us also. If not, it'll make the show circuit next year or this next summer or whatever. Jay's is of importance. We're getting close to being done with the body. I got a little more polishing to do and wash it, some panel line, get the glass in it, get all the chrome done, headliner painted, and then we can put the body up for a while. The next few months I want to spend getting the chassis just right, it fitting in the car just right, the roll cage fitting just right before I final paint it. And then the interior will go pretty quick because it's just a matter of adding some detail and putting the stock interior, in the car. Then I can marry that to the body. That will be done. Then I can work on the important stuff, which is all the detail underneath the hood and suspension. And that's going to take some time because I want to do it and be pristine about it. So that's going to be an ongoing project. What else have we gotten done or anything done on? That pretty much killed it over this weekend was the Alla Impala just make me mad, and I just had to stop. It wouldn't polish out. It was where I would get it really good and shiny. Then there was other parts. It was just filled with all this fine little, it's like I mixed sand in with the paint or the clear coat. And it wasn't, some of it was in the clear, but not all of it. So it's like, I'm done trying to fix this and fool with it. So it's going to go in the purple bath, purple pond, as people say. If that doesn't work, strip it. Then I'll reach out and find some. I know Matthew uses a certain kind and it works good. I need to get some of that. It's a little pricey, but it does a great job from what I've seen. So I may need to get some of that. But that's sidelined again. So we got other things to focus on and get done. We got 2 definite great builds coming up, both trucks. The 1950 Chevy, the Villain. Then we have the 1967 Ford F-100 Ranger short bed 4x4. That is an approved build from the owner of the actual truck. I'm in communication with him for reference material, information about the trucks, so on and so forth. So it'll be a really smooth build. Not going to do a whole lot of scratch building, a little bit, not bad. There's a little scratch building in the Villain too, not bad though. So those should be pretty smooth to kick off the first of the year. They're not until after January, guys. Between now and January is finishing the Pro Street group build, finishing Viewer's Choice or Wife's Choice, maybe revisiting Viewer's Choice if it's ready and prepped and done. Definitely Ring Brothers Charger. I would like to get the 53 done. and maybe the gray stang. I think it's about time to get the gray stang done. Definitely the Oliver Biden project. It's very close to being done, so it needs to be finished up. That way, I have a good selection next year to start taking around and taking to shows and seeing how they do, and you guys get to take a look at them too. So, I think that's all I got, guys. Go check out Hobbyist Haven. Oh, the second part of the shipment. Real quick, you guys remember I complained about it many videos ago. Go back to where I was mixing up paint, and you'll catch my little rant. It's not bad, but I always said that there should be somebody that can invent a strainer for paint, that fits like in our airbrush versus trying to fool with these big paper filters and these little cups. And it works good if you're an actual car painter, auto body man, and everything's on a larger scale, so it works just right. But for us, it's 100% waste. 100% waste of money, 100% waste of anything, if you think about it. Once you use that paper filter, it's done. You throw it away. Yeah, it's probably half a cent to make. But then you got to look outside the hobby. I'm not a tree hugger. I disagree with a lot of things, but I agree with a lot too. We take way too much from our forest, and the animals that live in it, that need it and depend on it, to create things that are in our hobby. Now, guys, just in my hobby, not in the real world, but in my hobby is 100% waste. I'm wasting money. That's not balling on a budget. Well, this company, he carries them. I don't know if he makes them, but at Hobbyist Haven, go on there. There's airbrush strainers. They sit down in your airbrush cup, and you pour your paint after it's mixed through it, and it strains out. Or you can go from one cup to another cup and then strain this into the thing, and they're reusable. You clean them with, if you're using lacquer paints, you clean with lacquer thinner. If you're using acrylics, you use acrylic thinner, so on and so forth. They're reusable. They was shipping about $20 for two of them. I think they're only like $12 for the two, so like $6 a piece. You have them forever. No more buying paper filters. No more putting a dent in the footprint in the earth that's not needed. The guys that need those are the actual professional painters that use them. There's other products that are similar, but they're a little too big, a little too bulky to do what we're trying to do in this small realm of things. These fit right in your airbrush. After you mix up your paint and you want to go into another cup to strain it before you put it in your airbrush, strain it and put it, there's a little thinner in there, I almost dropped it on Blue Rat. Pour it into the next cup, and then from that cup, you use the second strainer, put it in your airbrush, and then strain it before you go into your airbrush. By then, you pretty much got every little bit of particles out of it, if there is any. Old paint will clump up inside and drop off and get mixed up in the paint, and it stays hard, and then you spit it out your airbrush, and it's right in your paint job. These prevent that, and they're reusable. Same way with the little, I use medicine bottle caps, put super glue on them to dab out, put on parts, mix up paint on. I bought these. These are 100% reusable. They're worth the money. I think I spent $4 or something like this at Hobby Lobby. Got two of them. I use them all the time. I just wipe them out and clean them out. That'll wipe right out. I can do it with my finger. See? All over my finger. I have them. I move them all over wherever I'm building because I'll put thinner or whatever kind of thinner I need in one, and I mix up the paint in the other and paint out of that and paint what I need. It's just balling on a budget, guys. Something that I can pay money for and not have to overpay, but get. Same with these. Now, these were $20. Yes, that's kind of costly, but look at what you're getting, how many you're getting. That's a lot. Some modelers will never use that in their lifetime. Some modelers may use that up in 4 or 5 builds and have it all used up. No, then you buy more. But if you can afford to, stock up on them, organize them, put them in little individual containers, label them 0.6, 0.7, hex head or hex bolt head, and you keep them in a container. You go right there. Okay, this is what I need. Boom, right there. Open the lid and take out however many you need, or take them out one by one. And you're organized and you're good. And you get to add that 3-dimensional detail versus one-dimensional. Now, like I said, the one-dimensional can become like 2 to 3-dimensional, depending on the angle you're looking at and how far you blow it up. And that's only because the thickness of it is being enlarged due to you enlarging the picture. This is already there. You don't have to. You may have to zoom in to see the detail, but it's the right thickness for the scale. And he's got all kinds of other parts on there, part A, part B, all kinds of different things that can be used in the model car and model truck world versus Gundam and military and dioramas and stuff like that. You just got to go check them out. But those little paint cups are available at Hobbyist Haven. When they do come in, I'm expecting them today or tomorrow. Next video I do, we'll review them. I'll show you how well they work, how well they clean up. So that'll be a video specifically due to that. And you guys have any more information, I'll try to help as all I can. There's their code again. There's the UR code. There's the scan code. Pause it, whatever you got to do, and it'll take you to the link. Look, there's a lot of stuff in there. I got really excited about it, like, oh, I could use this, I could use that. But then I was like, the size. Well, they have the scale in there showing this part and showing the millimeter, but it also shows the scale, whether it's 1/32nd, 1/48th, or whatever it is. It's all smaller scale. But there's no 1/24th or 1/25th set pieces that I saw. But this will work because, remember, nuts and bolts on a real car are all different sizes. So this works. This will work. And you'll be adding that little touch of detail that will stand out and make your build look really good. So let me know what you think about it down there in the comments. Remember, thank you all the past, present, future subscribers. Well, you know these videos come out, hitting that bell notification so you can get ahead of the game. You don't have to wait for it to come up in your feed or whatever level I'm at on there now. And by all means, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. This is what I'm all about, talking about models related stuff that can work, stuff that we can ball on a budget, achieve the premium look for a cheap price, and compete with the guys that throw money at it left and right. Doesn't mean their build's any better than yours. They just got more money than you got, and they're buying the better product. But I can achieve the same look a lot cheaper and look just as good. So that's what we're about. And we show some builds. You know, we've seen this thing many times. I've found that I can add some detail to this now that it's apart. I found some mistakes I made. It's probably tagged me at a show. There's some faded marks right here where you can see primer. It didn't get painted. Got clear coated, but it didn't get painted on both sides of these hood supports. And that could be a reason why it didn't place or show or anything. So, and there's some other things I need to do to it. Get it cleaned up, repolish it out. There's definitely some touching up I can see that probably caused some issues. The way judges judge. There's some components I can add better detail, like the bolts on that little hold down right there and hood latch. I can add the bolt detail. You can hardly see it right now, but with that on there, it'll stand out. So we're going to go back over here. We're going to add a little detail to her, get her cleaned up, get her up in the display case. And as much as I like trucks, I'm surprised I don't build more of them. And to be truthful, guys, trucks are a little easier to build. I have a lot of you probably disagree with that, but they are. Trucks are simple in nature. They were just designed to haul and pull. It's just nowadays they're classy and flashy, you know, and have all these stuff that's going to go out in 5 years and it's going to cost you thousands of dollars to replace. But a truck is just in its truest form. Is very satisfying. No matter if it's a Chevy or a Ford, a Dodge, it don't matter. You gotta look at the platform for it. It's built for work, for pulling, for hauling. But we can make them look even better by lowering them, custom painting them, custom interiors, raw horsepower. Why do you guys like them? Because they're light in the ass end. You can do a donut in a truck with no problem at all. There's no weight back there bearing down on that axle to keep it from, you know, wanting to grab traction. You can break traction super easy. But trucks, to me, and I don't know why. I don't have a reason for it. But I wish I did. And we are going to do some more this year. I've got 2 definitely lined up. We've got 2 more back here that are on standby. That the one we got to finish, the 60 C10/66, and then we got the other 1950 that we got to build. So there's 4 trucks coming up next year that are going to get built. So I'm going to be doing a lot of trucks and not so many cars. A few cars, not a lot of them. So I don't know if I should be able to get a video out this Friday. I don't know what it'll be about. Maybe something I can show you on Jay's. I hate not being able to show you something. It does kind of suck. It's just me talking. But great product, guys. Is it worth the money? In my opinion, yes. In my opinion, I should have bought probably 6 sets of these. It had been a lifetime supply. And then I should have got 6 sets of Part B and any other ones they have. So I'm going to be going back and ordering more. I just got to wait to build up some money and, the balling on the budget thing. But I will be painting, prepping, and then separating and organizing in these little containers. I won't keep them in the boxes. Even though this, it's like 3 inches wide. You're not taking up a lot of space. But if you bought a lot of them, then yeah, it's a lot of space for these little boxes to fit in, when I can put them all in little containers and put them in a separate container and store it in a drawer, and it's outside on mine. When I need it, it's right there. I can go to it and get it. That's what it's all about, guys. Hope you guys have a great week. Remember, we got the giveaway at 1,000. Once we reach 950, I will reveal 3rd place, and we'll start talking about 1st place more. As you talking about it, and you'll get to see some of the stuff. And as we go all the way up to 1,000, I'll start revealing more of what's going to go with 1st and 2nd and 3rd place, because there's extra stuff. Because it is such a big giveaway. I've got a lot of thought process in it. I'm damned and determined to get it, and it's for that reason only, guys. It's 1,000. It's not for me to get whatever it's called monetized. It's for me to do this giveaway. But the giveaway is so big. In retrospect, it deserves getting 1,000 subs. Yeah, if that makes sense. So, stay tuned, guys. We got a lot of stuff coming. And next year, I promise you, it'll be a lot more of builds. I had a lot of issues this year. And a lot of ups and downs. A lot of struggles. And we're kind of on the cusp of starting to go downhill where it's all smoother now. So, there's still a few roadblocks in my way. And we'll see what happens between now and the end of this year. And hopefully it'll smooth sailing. If not, then we'll just adjust and adapt and do what we can do. You just may see less of this beautiful mug. No. Again, Acme is in October. Hope you guys are getting a chance to go down there. If nothing more, just go see the show. See what it's all about. It's worth it, guys. The amount of admission is next to nothing. A night's stay in a motel just to get a weekend away, nothing to do, and you're interested in models, you're not building yet, you just like them, it's worth a little trip. From my area right here is a 7.5 hour drive. Blink of the eye, you're there. A couple $100 for your motel and your food. Another, maybe $100 in gas. Basically under $500, you can go and have a good time, meet a lot of great people, get a different perspective on things that's going on in the world other than crime, all the bad stuff in the world, religion, politics. It's a break away from all that and get to see something that's really cool. And even if you just go by yourself, or you bring a buddy, or you're in the modeling world and you don't post, but it's a way for you to get parts also, and a little bit cheaper because you're right there and getting them. You don't have to pay the shipping. So there's benefits to it, guys. If you're watching this, you're pretty much into the hobby anyways. And I advise you highly, if you get a chance, go to Acme. If nothing more, just to see all the fantastic builds. Because, guys, those are the elite. Those are the top. If you're going to place people in the top 10 builders in the world, well, not in the world, but in the United States, are going to be there. Their stuff's going to be on the table. And it's a lot higher count than that. I go top 50 builders. I may not be that many, but it's real close. Because everybody's good at something. And like me, I do really good on engines. Other people do really good on their paint. other guys who are really good on the interior. Everybody has a strong point and a weak point, and you get to see that. And you see guys that aren't weak in any shape or the form. And then when you see who built it and realize that he's a 14-year-old kid, then you're like, holy shit, wow. This kid is going to be fantastic by the time he's 24. Another 10 years experience under his belt, and he's doing it at 14. That's all part of it. It's all stuff to take in and get wowed and be amazed and look at how all that detail is put in there and how they paint that stuff. It's so small. That's the benefit of going to Acme, or really any show. Whether you're a builder, you're an admirer, maybe you're interested in it, and it's a good way to go get some inspiration. Pick up a great kit while you're there for you to start on. And some things you find that maybe you could add that detail to and get those parts while you're there. It's a good source for a lot of things. It's a big platform for us morons to meet together, sit down and bull crap about this, that, and the other life stuff, model stuff, hang out, get caught up on some things, show our builds to each other, share how we did it. That's, for me, that's the aspect of it. I get to see some vendors that normally has not ever been there, so this is going to be a good show this year. If you're ever going to go to an Acme, an NL, national show, this is the one to go to. It's a new place. It's a new host motel. It's got everything you want and need, and it's big enough to bring in even more vendors than they normally have. They always have a ton, but now they got room for like 15 more, something like that. It's going to be fantastic. It's a modeler's haven, not to steal from Hobbyist Haven, but definitely go check out this company. If you can afford it, get you some of these, or when you can get some. They are going to be very well used to add that detail that normally I'd be using the one-dimensional detail. And yeah, it pops out because it's shiny. And if you blow it up, it kind of looks thick, but it's not really that thick. You're seeing the actual thickness just enlarged, like in a microscope. These are already to scale, the right thickness, the right shape. What you got to do is paint them and install them. Easy peasy. Chinesey. But go check them out, guys. I don't think you'll be sorry. It is a little pricey. Maybe eventually he'll find a distributor inside the United States that does the packaging and delivering to the customer, and it will be cheaper on shipping. I don't know. But, $12 for both these, it wasn't bad. It's like $6 a box for shipping. And then I paid $19. So I paid $26 for this. It's kind of high. I get it. And a lot of people can't afford that. But save your pennies up for it. Splurge a little. When you get extra $30, order a set. If you can get the money together, order A and B together. That way you have the finish too, if you're going to do any through bolts. When I say through bolts, it's a bolt that goes through something and the detail's visible on both ends. That's a through bolt. So you want both details. If it's just a bolt going into like a valve cover, you want the hexagon bolt, and that's it. I've seen, it might be this company, they have screw heads, Phillips and flathead. Another game changer. The photo etch has been great, but it's one-dimensional. It looks good, but think of how good it looks if you add the actual Phillips head screw, the right scale to what you're doing. Food for thought, guys. Go check out their website. There's a lot of things on there you'll see that you're really going to want. Make you a list, and then get it as you can, and as many as you can. This has a tendency to come and go, if you know what I mean. So issues will arise between the manufacturer and the designer, and process stops. So you'll want to get these while you can. Stock up on them while you can. Will they ever come back out from somebody else? Probably. But just in case they don't, you're prepared. You have it. You don't want to get halfway through a build and realize you just ran out of the size you need, and now you got to wait a month, and then at the end of it find out that they don't even make them anymore. You're like, I just added all this stuff and I'm not even halfway done, and then you're screwed. So if you can, stock up on them, organize them, put them in containers. Food for thought. So hope you guys like this. Drop a comment, send me an email, whatever you want to do. Please subscribe. It's free. Hit that bell notification. I say it a lot. We're trying to grow. We're trying to grow. We are, but every time we go forward quite a bit, and then we go backwards. And it is aggravating if you look at it just on the YouTube level. And it may take me 2 years to get to 1,000. Not much I can do about it. It sucks. But I thought for sure as fast as we came out of the gate, we would supersede 1,000, maybe even 2,000 subs. And then it kind of, flatten off. There's only going to be so many people like what I do or interested in what I do. I understand that. So, but as fast as we're going, I was hoping to keep that momentum, but it's just not. It's kind of good, I guess, kick in the ass. Shows you where you are and what you're about and how you're doing things. It makes me work a little harder and try to do things better. So yeah, long video, guys. Sorry, but watch as much of it as you can. Watch it to the end, and let me know what you think. That's it. You guys have a great week. This is Rusty Roeder. I'm out.